Look, I know everyone wants to make millions of dollars in their 20s, but sadly, it's not gonna happen unless you have a specific blueprint for exactly how you can execute this big goal of yours. And the only reason you haven't made millions of dollars in your 20s is you probably haven't received the vision and received the blueprint, or if you have the blueprint, you haven't had the courage to take action on it. And if you're anything like me, I never want to take advice from people that don't have proven results, because a great piece of advice I got as a young 20-year-old was never take advice from someone that you wouldn't trade places with. So for me, when I'm taking financial advice, I ask the person first, let me see your finances and your income before I listen to you. So I'm gonna give you guys in this video the exact blueprint of how I went from a broke 20-year-old 5 years ago to currently being 25 years old. I've made multiple 7 figures in the life insurance sales space, and you can do the exact same thing. But before I get into the blueprint, I wanna give you guys some credibility. So I'm gonna put a picture right here. This was 5 years ago, April 2020. This is me at 20 years old, hugging my dad, saying goodbye. Because what happened was I was in community college in 2019. I was 19 years old and I hated school. I wanted to make a lot of money. I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I met someone in the life insurance industry that was making a ton of money, and they gave me this blueprint and this vision for how I could make millions of dollars in the life insurance industry myself. But when I saw this vision and blueprint, it made sense to me. Keep in mind, this is the same vision and blueprint I'm gonna give you in this video. It made sense to me as a 19-year-old, and I felt if this is true, if this blueprint is actually how it works, I'm gonna be rich. But when I told my friends and family about it, they said, Spencer, that's too good to be true. You need to stay in school. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. So I want you to know this picture of me saying goodbye to my dad, my own father, who loves me very much, told me, don't get into sales, stay in school. This is dumb, it's too good to be true. So the first thing you need to be able to do is you need to be able to keep the vision and execute the blueprint regardless of what outside sources are telling you to do. Because if you wouldn't trade places with them, you need to have the skill set of being able to say, hey, I love you, but I'm not gonna listen to you. That's what this picture symbolizes. My own father, who loves me so much and I love him, was telling me not to get into this opportunity that literally changed my life. But I had to have the courage to tell him, hey, I love you, but I wanna make millions of dollars. And you don't make millions of dollars, so therefore I'm not gonna listen to your advice on what you're telling me to do, because I have someone who does make millions of dollars telling me to get into life insurance sales. So I'm gonna listen to them and not you, but I still love you. You need to be able to do things like that if you want to make it big in life. You need to be able to take a risk, bet on yourself, and execute the vision regardless of what the people are saying. But keep in mind, here's another picture of my last 6 months of bank statements. I've made already close to $2 million this year, all net profit. I have 0 expenses. So these income statements that you see right here, literally my only bills each month are my car payments, my girlfriend's apartment, my mom's bills, and everything like that. But it's not like I have to spend money to make money. Everything we make in life insurance is all profit. So these are my income statements over the last 6 months. And then one more picture to make sure you guys know I'm credible to listen to is I'm gonna post this picture. This is my mother sitting inside my custom Ferrari that I customized myself as a 24-year-old. I took her on a joyride in my Ferrari. Keep in mind, this is the same mother that 5 years ago was telling me not to get into life insurance sales and to stay in school. And I had to tell her, hey, I love you, but I'm not gonna listen to you. And then one last picture. This is my family on vacation 2 weeks ago in South Carolina that I paid for, because I got a call before Christmas of 2024 that said, hey, Spencer, it looks like we're not gonna go on our yearly family vacation this year because our finances are super tight. My dad's spending money sending my sisters through school. I said, you know what? Let me just give you $10,000 for Christmas, and you can use that money to take the family on vacation. So this family that was telling me not to get into sales 5 years ago is now enjoying a vacation that they wouldn't have been able to go on unless I gave them $10,000 to buy the house and do everything that they need to do for the vacation. So what I'm about to tell you is guaranteed to work, because it worked for the people that came before me in the life insurance space, and it's worked for me. And it all starts with, and you need to watch this full video because it's a lot of information. It's not gonna make sense until it's all tied together. But I'm gonna go through with you guys why a lot of people fail in the life insurance industry, but you can't fail and you won't fail if you have the right mentor that's already gone through the trials and tribulations before you and can teach you how to avoid those things so you can get straight into making a lot of money. So it starts with mastering the sales process. Obviously, we sell life insurance. The end game to make millions is you have to grow a large team. It's no secret, I have a large life insurance sales team. I've got a few hundred agents underneath me. We're gonna hire over 10,000 agents to join the virtual sales team. But it didn't start like that. It started as me taking a risk, getting into this life insurance sales company without knowing anything about life insurance. I had no sales experience. I had nobody on my team to start, but I had to take that risk. And the end vision was I need to grow a big team because I want to make millions of dollars. But I knew it was going to start as just me. And step one that my mentor taught me is you have to master the sales process. But where most people get it wrong is you have to master the sales process in a simple and duplicatable way that you can teach to other average Joes. So a big mistake people make in the life insurance industry when they want to grow a big team is they come in and step one is mastering sales. But some people are naturally talented at sales. However, majority of people are not naturally talented at sales. So when I was new, a big mistake I made when I was trying to grow my team is I'm naturally talented at sales. I can sell life insurance easily without a script. So if you just get me on the phone or on Zoom with somebody, I'm gonna sell them life insurance at a pretty high rate, probably 50% of the time, because I'm good at just naturally chopping it up. But not everyone's like that. So a mistake I made when I was growing my team was I'd have new people come in and I didn't have a script for them to follow. I would just say, watch me do it. So they'd watch me do it without a script. The problem is new people that aren't naturally gifted at sales would think, he's naturally gifted at sales, that's why he's so good. And then they think, however, I'm not naturally gifted at sales, so I can't do what he's doing. And then you have a bunch of new salespeople that are lacking belief in themselves. And when a new agent lacks belief, they're not gonna be able to sell. So what I had to do was we had to come up with a script that was duplicatable and that I would read word for word that on average sells 1 out of 3 people. Without the script, if I'm just naturally selling, I could probably sell 1 out of 2 people. That's a high close ratio, 50%. But if I'm using the script word for word, it actually lowers my close ratio to about 1 out of 3 on average because we've tracked the numbers. So you might be wondering, why would you do that? The reason I do that is because now when new people join our team, I don't want to impress them with our natural sales abilities. We want to impress new agents with how simple and duplicatable the script is. So then when they see me read a script word for word and it works, instead of them thinking I can't do that, they think, oh, I can do that because literally all he did was read the same script I'm gonna have access to. And if he can read that script and make sales, I can read that script and make sales too. So that's something that we put in place for our sales team is we literally have a script that you read word for word. And when our new people see that, their belief in themselves goes through the roof. And when you have a bunch of new people that believe in themselves and they believe that they can do it too, you'll have a bunch of new people making a bunch of money and making a bunch of sales. So that's just a small gem, but I got ahead of myself. It starts with this. In our company, the company gives us leads for free. Here's how we get leads. The company I work for has been around for over 75 years, so it's a very stable company first and foremost. And our company has 2 different departments. They've got the sales department, which is what I work for, and they've got a lead generation department, which is something totally separate. We're so blessed that we get free leads. A lot of life insurance opportunities, you don't get free leads. But the way we get leads is this lead generation department in our company, literally their job is to go from union to union, and a union is like the police union, the teachers union, nurses, firefighters. They go from union to union and they negotiate deals with the leaders of these unions. And basically what it looks like is this. Let's say I worked for the lead generation department of our company. I would go to the head of a union. Each union's got thousands of members. Let's say I'm going to talk to the plumbers union and the plumbers union has 10,000 members. I would say, hey, union leader, my name's Spencer. I work with this company, Globe Life, and I want to work a deal with you. Here's the deal. We know that all 10,000 of your union members probably have life insurance already through work. We understand that. Here's the thing, people that have life insurance through work, 95% of the time, it's free. But what does that mean? When it's free, that means they only have it when they're working. They lose that life insurance when they quit, get fired, or retire. The average age of retirement is 65. The average life expectancy is 80 to 85 years old. So what does that mean? That means when they retire at 65, for the next 20 years of their life, they don't have life insurance anymore. And the only time you actually need life insurance is when you die. So if they're only relying on their work life insurance, they're not gonna have life insurance when they need it most. So that's where we come in and we say, hey, we understand that your members have life insurance for free through work. That's great. However, we offer permanent life insurance at a union discounted rate that your members can purchase. So whenever their life insurance through work goes away, they still have something with them for the rest of their life that's guaranteed to be there when they need it most when they pass away. And what we do for them is we're like, look, we want to give you some sort of value up front to even give us an opportunity to speak to your members about this permanent insurance. So what the lead generation department does is they say, we're going to offer all of your members another free life insurance policy on us as a way to get in front of them. So basically we give all 10,000 union members a free life insurance policy. It's only accidental coverage, which means it only pays out if they die of an accident, and it's usually worth between $2,000 to $4,000. So basically, we send out a letter to all these union members that says, hey, we're giving you a free policy through your union that pays out if you die of an accident. On top of that, we want to explain to you some permanent union life insurance that your union has available for you. If you're interested in receiving this free policy and learning more about the permanent stuff, fill out this response card. So the members fill out the card. On the card, they're just putting their information for the free policy. So they put their name, 2 phone numbers, their address, their birthday, and who they want their beneficiary to be. They handwrite it on, send it back in. Those are the leads that we give to our new people. So when our new people are calling these leads to sell them life insurance, it's a very easy process. We give you a phone script. You make the first initial call. You're like, hey, Joe, this is Spencer. We handle the life insurance benefits through your union. You got that letter in the mail and you filled out that little card for that free policy. Do you remember doing that? Yes, okay. Well, I need to meet with you so we can activate this free policy and go over the permanent insurance that your union has available for you. We do everything on Zoom. Are you free tonight at 6 or 7? He picked 6. Now 6 o'clock comes around. We get him on Zoom. The Zoom presentation is 30 minutes long. It's a PowerPoint presentation. It's 10 slides. We share the PowerPoint with the union member, but on our end, there's a script that we can read word for word. So the union member sees a PowerPoint slide, our agents and myself, we see a script that we read word for word. Now, for the sales process, the average close ratio is 1 out of 3. That means out of every 3 people that we meet with in the union, 1 of them will buy the permanent life insurance. Every time someone buys the permanent life insurance, on average, the agent makes $500 to $600. Here's the number 1 sales tip, and this is why our close ratio is 1 out of 3. For what we sell and who we sell to, there's 3 rebuttals that people get every single time. It's they want to think about it, they already have life insurance through work, so they don't need this, or they can't afford it. Where most sales teams go wrong is they teach you how to reactively respond to those rebuttals, which means the presentation's short, you get to the end, and they'll say one of those 3 things, and then that sales leader teaches you how to respond to that rebuttal. The issue is whenever you're reactively responding to a rebuttal, you're now arguing with the client, which is not a good selling position to be in when you're arguing with the client. Where we get the edge on our competition is we teach our new agents how to proactively beat that rebuttal throughout the presentation. So when the end of the presentation comes along, you're not arguing with them about why they need it or why they can't think about it or why they can't afford it. You've already proactively gone over those rebuttals throughout the PowerPoint presentation. So when the end comes, it's a very simple decision. They can't say they want to think about it. They can't say they don't need it. And they can't say they can't afford it because we've already proactively beat those throughout the PowerPoint presentation. So we basically funnel them into buying. However, people still don't pick because the average close ratio is 1 out of 3. So we teach you all of that in the sales training process. A mistake that I made, which we now teach our agents not to make, and this is if you can wrap your head around this is where the millions are made. If you can master this process, and then you can grow a team and teach the team to master this process, you will make millions of dollars. A mistake I made was, when I was new, my mentor told me the close ratio is 1 out of 3, but I would try to sell everybody. So if they didn't buy, instead of doing what I'm about to teach you, I would just push people back and forth all day trying to convince them to buy, even though they weren't gonna buy anyway. It's a 1 out of 3 close ratio. That means most people aren't gonna buy. One person buys, and then 2 people say no. That's what 1 out of 3 means. So I would just try to convince these 2 people that were saying no to buy. I would push them back and forth until it got uncomfortable. Then they wouldn't like me and they still weren't buying either way. What we teach our new people is, look, if you just read the script word for word, 1 out of 3 people will buy. But what should you do? What's the smartest thing to do with the 2 people that don't buy? Instead of going back and forth with them, making them hate you, let's just focus on collecting referrals and turning a no into an opportunity for you to get onto another presentation. Because at the end of the day in our business, if it's 1 out of 3 close ratio and every sale gets you paid $500, that just means how can we get on 6 presentations so 2 people say yes and you make $1,000? Or how can we get on 12 presentations so 4 people say yes and you make $2,000? Or how can we get on 24 presentations so 8 people say yes and you make $4,000? The name of the game in our business is who can get on the most presentations. And the answer to that, which we teach you, is referrals. Referrals is the answer to getting on more presentations. The answer isn't how can you get your close ratio from 30% to 40%. Just accept the fact that it's 30% and put all your focus and energy into getting on more presentations. We've mastered how to do that at a very high level, and I'm about to teach you how. But the answer is referrals. I went through 3 years of trying to learn different ways to collect referrals, failed at it for 3 years until we finally mastered it. And the way we collect referrals is, and if you can wrap your mind around this, you're gonna realize quickly how you can make millions of dollars. The best tool that our company gives us as agents access to is the ability to give out free $2,000 accidental life insurance policies to anybody. There's only a few states we're not able to do it in. Pennsylvania is one of them. But I am able to give out a free $2,000 accidental life insurance policy to pretty much anybody I come across with, which is a crazy tool our company gives us as agents. And they're very smart for doing it because it's used as a way to collect referrals. It's the same way the company gets leads from the unions. We give the union members a free accidental life insurance policy as a way to get in front of them. And then once we get in front of them, we talk about a problem that everybody has. The problem is everybody has life insurance through work. Nobody knows it's temporary. The solution is we have permanent insurance for you to buy whenever your life insurance through work goes away. And all the free accidental policy is a way for us to get in front of people and teach them about that and sell them life insurance. When we're presenting to these union members, what we do is, because the union members have a free accidental life insurance policy, regardless if they buy the permanent stuff or not, we tell them this: we need your beneficiary. Who's your beneficiary? Usually they put their wife. But then we say we need a contingent beneficiary. Most people put their friends or their siblings. Who do you want to put? Contingent beneficiary means second in line. So let's say the union member puts their wife Mary as the beneficiary and they put their brother Joe as the second in line beneficiary. Now, if that union member does not buy the permanent life insurance, instead of me making him mad, going back and forth with him trying to sell him, I'm gonna say, no worries, brother. Well, hey, since you have this free policy and you have your brother as the contingent, I want you to know that a ton of life insurance went unclaimed last year because people's beneficiaries didn't know about the policy, or if they knew about it, they didn't know what to do when the time came. So to make sure that never happens to you with your free policy, I'm gonna give your brother a call and have him hop on my Zoom, and I'm gonna teach him about your free policy so he knows how it works, make sure he knows that you have it, and make sure he knows what to do when the time comes so he can make a claim on this policy if he needs to. And then we're very upfront and honest with the union members. We'll tell them this. Also, we're gonna give your brother access to the permanent life insurance you had access to. So I'm just letting you know, we're gonna offer him life insurance, but we won't twist his arm whatsoever. I'm just letting you know up front, we are gonna offer him permanent life insurance in case he needs it for himself. 99% of the time, the union member's like, okay, sweet, yeah, call him, explain how it works. So then I'm gonna call Joe. We have a PowerPoint presentation for presenting to people's contingent beneficiaries. When I hop on with Joe, I'm gonna be like, hey, Joe, your brother's got you as a contingent beneficiary on this policy he's got through the union. Here's how it works, blah, blah, blah. Congratulations, Joe. Since you're his beneficiary, we're actually able to give you your own free accidental policy as well, just like he had. It's worth $2,000. Who do you want as your beneficiary? Joe's probably gonna put his wife. I'm gonna say, okay, who do you want as your contingent beneficiary? He's probably gonna put his brother or sister as well. So now we just gave him a free policy as the beneficiary. We got his wife as a beneficiary, but his second in line beneficiary is now his brother. After I explain the original union member's policy to the brother, I'm gonna say, hey, like I told your brother, I'm gonna teach you what we provide for the union members, because most union members have life insurance through work, Joe. I'm sure you have life insurance through work too, don't you? They always say yes. I'm gonna say, well, what we do is we provide permanent insurance for the union members like your brother, because that life insurance you have through work goes away whenever you quit, get fired, or retire. So let me teach you how it works, and if it's something that you see value in, that's great, we can get you a policy. If not, no worries. Then we take them through the same presentation that we take the union members through. We show them why it's a problem if you only have life insurance through work. We propose a solution, which is permanent insurance. If he buys it, great. If he doesn't buy it, it doesn't matter. We're not gonna twist his arm either. We're gonna say, no worries, brother. If you don't want it, that's totally cool. But hey, since you got this free accidental policy, just like your brother did, make sure you let your brother know, since he's your contingent beneficiary, I'm gonna call him, explain to him the same thing, how to make a claim, what to do when the time comes. Also let your brother know that we're gonna offer him permanent insurance. If he takes it, great. If not, no worries. Then I get on Zoom with the next guy. It's the same process. We teach him his responsibilities being a beneficiary. We give him a free accidental policy. We collect more beneficiaries from him. We propose him permanent life insurance. If he buys, great. If he doesn't buy, no worries. We're gonna go talk to his contingent beneficiaries about it next. That is how you have non-stop lead flow and non-stop high quality free leads to present to, because we call it a referral train. It's a never-ending process of taking leads, collecting referrals from them, presenting to the referrals, collecting more referrals from those referrals, and non-stop rolling referrals. And that's how you can get on 6 presentations a day. When you get on 6 presentations a day, you'll sell 2 of them, you're making $1,000 a day. It's an amazing process, and you never even have to spend money on leads. So that's how you master the sales process. Once you master the sales process, and you have to master it with referrals. If you don't master referrals, you're always gonna be dependent on leads. And when you're dependent on leads, your income is in the fate of someone else. Because what happens if the company gives you less leads this month than they did last month? Well, you're gonna make less money. But if you master referrals, you don't rely on the leads, because all you need is 1 lead to get you started. And then from there, you know how to collect referrals, so it doesn't matter how many leads they give you, you're self-sufficient. All of our sales reps on our team are self-sufficient. We teach you how to, with the free leads we give you, generate your own leads so you don't depend on us anymore to give you leads. And that's how you can be consistent, always have free leads, and make consistent money and continue to go up and up and up without being worried about the company giving you less leads one month than they would a different month. It doesn't matter. So that's how you master the sales process if you want to grow a big team. Then once you have that mastered, it's very simple. Now you have to master recruiting. How can you bring in a bunch of people? There's many different ways. You can literally buy people through recruiting vendors that have their life insurance license and want to sell life insurance. You can go from place to place and tell people, hey, I can teach you how to make $2,000 a week. You can blow up an Instagram. Really, the recruiting's easy. The only way you suck at recruiting is if you don't believe in your heart that if you bring someone in, they can make $2,000 a week. A long time ago, before I mastered referrals, I wasn't great at recruiting because I didn't confidently believe if I bring someone in that they would make $2,000 or more a week. because I didn't have a simple, duplicatable way of teaching them how to do it. So I was like, well, if they're not naturally gifted at sales like I am, I don't know if they'll make $2,000 a week. But now I know you don't have to be naturally gifted at sales. If you follow our presentation and you collect referrals the way we teach you, you never have to spend money on leads. You're never gonna be dependent on leads. You're self-sufficient. Our script works, our referral process works. Now I believe whether you have sales skills or absolutely zero sales skills at all, if you can read a PowerPoint, I know in my heart for sure you can make $2,000 or more a week. So it's very easy to recruit when you have that belief in your heart. And when you get into leadership within our company, on the low end, you'll make about 25% of what your agents make. So if you teach one person to make $2,000 a week, they're gonna be happy making $2,000 a week working from home. What's 25% of $2,000 a week? 500 bucks. So if you're in leadership with one person on your team making 2,000 a week, you're making 500 bucks a week. So what if you've got 4 people on your team making $2,000 a week? Now you're making 500 bucks times 4, that's $2,000 a week. What if you've got 10 people on your team making $2,000 a week? That's 500 bucks off each agent times 10, that's $5,000 a week. What do you need to make $1 million a year? You need to make 20K a week. So you would need 40 agents on your sales team, all 40 of them making at least 2K a week. I guarantee you, if an agent comes onto our team and they follow our scripts and our process, they're set up with everything they need to make at least $2,000 a week. Usually they make much, much more. So if you can just get 40 people to do that, which it's not hard to convince 40 people to make 100K or more their first year working from home, reading a script word for word and making their own schedule. If you have a team of 40 people, you'll be making 20K a week, and that's how you make $1 million. That's how I was able to do it. That's why I have this Richard Mille watch. This was 250K. This custom Ferrari was 400K. God is good. I'm super, super blessed. This company is absolutely amazing. It's a simple process. It's a duplicatable process. And the only way you don't get these results is one of two things. You don't know the right information or you don't implement. And usually it's you don't know the right information. So many people come into our company and fail, and they love to blame the leads. They love to blame the commission structure. They love to blame their leaders. But how come I can make millions of dollars with the same leads, the same commission structure, the same processes, but you can't? What's the difference? It's I know something you don't know, and what it is how to master referrals, how to master recruiting. And not only have I done it, I've taught other people on our team that have been here for less time than I have to make 7 figures. My boy Big Bra was delivering pizza 2 years ago. Now he makes over $1 million a year, and it's because he came in and I taught him, here's how you master referrals, here's how you teach people to master referrals, and once you master that, now you just go master recruiting and plugging people into the system. He's made 7 figures. I've got Gavin McDonald on our team. He's an introvert, college dropout, 22 years old. He'll make 7 figures this year because he did the same exact thing. He mastered referrals, he taught people how to master referrals, and then he mastered the recruiting process to plug people into the system that's guaranteed to work. So it's really that simple. It's never the leads, it's never the commission structure. It's you don't know the right information. The good news is on our sales team, we'll teach you the right information. Or a lot of people do know the right information, they just don't put in the work. So many people are lazy. There's no replacement for hard work, but if you know what they know and you do what they do, you'll have what they have. So if you want a Richard Mille, or if you want a custom Ferrari, or if you want to make multiple 7 figures in your 20s, or take your families on vacation, retire your mother, retire your girlfriend, give multiple 6 figures to your local church, whatever it may be, you need to know what I know, and we'll teach you everything when you join our sales team, and you need to do what I do. I've been working long, hard days for 5 years straight, and if you come in and you put in the hard work, you'll have the information. If you put in the hard work, it's only a matter of time till you're making 7 figures in your 20s too. God is great. If you want to join the sales team, there's going to be a link in the description. Use this link to schedule an interview. We run a group interview for people to join our sales team every Monday night at 8 p.m. On the interview, you can ask me all the questions in the world, more about how we get leads, more about the scripts, more about the commission, whatever it may be. I answer all questions on the interview. Once you join the team, master referrals, master the sales, master recruiting, and you can be the next 7-figure earner. We look forward to seeing you on the team soon. God is good. Subscribe to the page for much more content. We've got much more to come. See you soon.